So basically today we're here to announce the new partnership being formed between us as Cricket South Africa and the public broadcaster being SABC. So for the first time in both the history of the sport of cricket as well as the history of broadcasting in South Africa, SABC will be the exclusive broadcaster for the T20 competition that will be held between mid-November and December this year, hosted by us, Cricket South Africa. So essentially, that's why we're here. For us as Cricket South Africa, one is an opportunity to give premium product or content to the public broadcaster, and as well as to spread our wings to all broader South African family, as far as the populace is concerned. So really, it's an opportunity for both of us really to see how best we can commercialize this and make sure that we've got a strong public broadcaster, point number one, who can be able to commercialize this project, or program rather. And then number two, as Cricket South Africa, to be available and to be, able to reach all South Africans out there. Well, there is a little bit of a worry. I can never say that we've got everything under control as far as players are concerned. But what I can tell you is that locally, this is one opportunity our players have been looking forward to. And yes, they will participate. It would be remiss for any player not to put their names in the hat, given the opportunity of the additional income that they stand to make, which some of them don't have, given the fact that they don't play in our 6 franchise teams or don't play in the national team and therefore not known abroad. So this is the one opportunity they have of just showcasing their own talent and being known overseas and being able to be picked without even being playing for Proteas and seeing themselves playing either in the IPL, the CPL and so forth. So as a player, I would be very surprised if you snap this opportunity. And then as far as international players are concerned, yes, there is also a concern there. We have marquee players that we had already secured from the previous edition that was postponed. So we still have them available this year. It's just a matter of us now sitting down with them to agree on new terms now, because obviously we cannot agree on the old terms. But although the contract was for 2 years, which the 2 years is lapsing this year, so we still have those guys as far as their services are concerned. There is one who has indicated that he's not playing cricket anymore, but he would still like to participate as far as this league is concerned. So we just need to sit with him and find out at what best capacity can he participate in this league. As far as Proteas are concerned, yes, they'll be down under. We've always known that. They will be missing either the first week or two of the tournament, and they will be coming back to rejoin the tournament later. From a crowd pulling point of view, yes, if you were looking at broadcasting this on your previous platforms, you could worry. Given the fact that we're on a different and new platform, which has so much wider reach, which is going to be talking to so many different South Africans who we've been ignoring as cricket. God knows what that can release for us. So I'm really not worried as far as crowd pulling is concerned. I think now we are actually starting to talk to South Africans as cricket. We are reaching out to them, and we want them to grow with their stars. So this is an opportunity for franchise teams, as far as this league is concerned, to link themselves up with various radio stations that would be deemed as their local stations, to build their home-based support, bring people in, an opportunity for the CEOs that will be hosting these teams to show us as Cricket South Africa what they can deliver as individuals. And I said, it's an opportunity as well for the broadcaster to come and show that, this is one product that we've been waiting for as a public broadcaster, and just run with the opportunity. Cricket South Africa owns all the teams. So in the next couple of days, we'll be announcing the stadiums that have been awarded the right to host the teams. And then those various stadiums, the CEOs who've been running those stadiums will act as managers for these various teams. They will then come out, announce the name of the teams, the new names of the teams, that is, the logos of what the teams will look like. And they are the ones who will then, in turn, appoint the coaches, and then the coaches will then appoint their own support staff. So I know that there is a fear that when we go to these CEOs, they might just look at just employing their own local guys. It's a reality, and it's not something that we should be afraid of. It's also an opportunity for our guys to showcase their talent, managerial talent, as far as coaching is concerned. But we as Cricket South Africa have also just said to them they shouldn't be afraid of looking over our shores and procuring talent from elsewhere. But it really is up to them. First of all, it's the international players that are coming in. The Proteas will be available to mix with these guys. And secondly, I think, given the pipeline that we've seen as far as talent production is concerned, coming from tournaments like the Africa T20, you are seeing that there's some young stars who are hungry for international stages. And I would like to see some of our guys, showing what they're made of and outperforming the international guys, because ultimately what makes a tournament like this is it's the local guys. It's local companies, it's your local broadcasters, it's the local players. You'll have one or two international guys who might set the stage alight, but ultimately it's a South African thing for South Africans, and it's the South Africans that will make it happen.
Kid.
From a Cricket South Africa point of view, although you guys haven't asked, our members have given us a budget, a loss-making budget of 40 million. So that on its own will tell you how prudent we have to be in delivering this tournament. So our budget is a loss-making one of 40 million, but we have been obviously told by the powers that be to try and stretch the rand as much as we can. If we can reach break-even, then that will be our goal as CSA management.
Kaniso?
As far as Australian players are concerned, that is a bit of a tough one in a sense because we share the same summer with them. So their professionals will be preparing not only for their domestic competitions but the Big Bash as well. And others will then be also being called into their national team. So that remains to be seen in terms of what names are out there or remaining out there and would be keen to come to play in South Africa. As far as Indian players are concerned, as you would know that at the moment, as things stand, the BCCI hasn't granted Indian players an opportunity or the right to can play in any other T20 tournament outside of India. So that continues to be something that we work on with them, and hopefully soon, we'll be announcing the fact that BCCI is allowing their players to play in other leagues and that their players will come play in our league. Okay. As far as the global T20 is concerned, we had postponed the tournament, but also at the later stage then decided to actually do away with that entire format as far as the model is concerned. And that also included us going back to those owners and letting them know that we will not be participating as far as the global T20 is concerned. The format has changed. The commercial model has changed. So the commercial model that they had entered into agreement with us on is completely one that we cannot be able to fulfill as far as paying them back is concerned, because remember, they're not in this for free as well. So as Cricket South Africa, we've already communicated to them that this is a completely new league and the teams will be owned by Cricket South Africa and its members, so their participation will not be needed in this league, and that should in future we consider selling any equity in the form of either teams or the league in itself, that message will be communicated to all interested parties and not just them. But as things stand, no, they're not part of this league. At the moment, we're centralizing everything. So we've adopted the NFL model, and it's pretty simple to say why we've gone that route given the status of our economy in the country. And at the same time, it was also to give us an opportunity to have a clean-looking tournament from a branding point of view. So we do have a couple of sponsors lined up. We're still working on tying up a few of these sponsors, and hopefully we can announce them in the short future. So those are some of the commercial deals that we would like to announce at a later stage. Obviously, the values of those also will not be announced. The reason because that we never announced the commercial values as CSA, but we will announce the names. You'll see the various heads of those companies coming through to make announcements with us. But as I've said, teams will be operating centrally for now, with a view of them now gaining their autonomy at a later stage so that they can essentially start looking different even from a branding point of view. We haven't received any communication as far as BCCI is concerned in terms of bringing the IPL here. So until then, we really do not know. All I know is that from an interest point of view, they're looking at both South Africa as well as Dubai. Well, at the top of my head, I can say yes, I'd be happy to host the IPL here. But there are various lot of factors that we need to look at. Our domestic season, the fixturing around it, the impact that our grounds will have to suffer in terms of hosting additional content rather, and then secondly would be now preparation for World Cup. So there's all those various factors that we need to look at, up and including the commercial ones. Correct. So there'll be 6 teams, as I said, involved, a host of names of players, and I guess what will happen is that once we have concluded our talks with all the players who would have expressed their interest in being in this tournament, the various CEOs, after appointing their coaches, will have to sit, go through their player list to see, have their own mini drafts happening in their heads or in their private spaces to see which players they would like to constitute their squad. And it will go on a single round basis, so to speak. So I get to pick a name, and then we move on to you pick a name and so forth, because we can't allow anybody to pick an entire squad at a go, because then you're not going to have a fair draft, so to speak. So it's going to go on single rounds, making its rounds as it goes. So Corey's got all those details, and it will be shared in due course.
Yeah.
Well, there's no tournament that's ever made money in its first year, even the IPL. So if you postpone now based on the fact that you stand to make a loss, I'd rather not have a tournament. As we speak, I'm sure you guys wouldn't know, but just to give you facts, the current domestic T20 we have makes no profit for CSA, and we've carried it for so many years. Nobody has asked us to postpone the Ram Slam.
40 million lost.
Well, the 40 million loss that was given to us, basically it would involve operationalizing the league, paying for production, salaries for players, match officials, equipment for match officials, equipment for players in terms of kit, logistics, lodging, so essentially everything that you would need to run a cricket tournament. We were just told that, listen, given the projections that you've made in terms of your revenues, the leeway we'd like to give to you as management is just a 40 million rand loss. And this is just exercising prudency, and given the fact that Cricket South Africa is faced by a very difficult 4-year financial cycle.